Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. Last week in sports news, there was an article that came out about Brett Grimes. And Brett Grimes was playing for Miami. And the article was talking about that there were 3 teams that wanted to sign him. But because of his wife's behavior, they were afraid to assign him and they were having reservations. And then at the end of the week, it came out that he was signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I was looking and waiting to see about the reaction about him being signed to Tampa Bay, because according to reports, Tampa Bay signed him, but they had him sign some kind of agreement, I guess him and his wife, or just him, that he would have his wife delete her I Heart Miko Twitter account. And I don't know if that happened, but let me say this, because I started doing some research over the weekend and trying to see the reason why they would have her do this. Now, I don't know that much about Miko Grimes. I only know about one incident where I saw her on television and they had arrested her because she was acting out. And I think it was right before one of the games he was playing. But as far as Twitter or anything like that, I don't follow her, so I really didn't know. But I started doing research over the weekend. And it seems that Miko can get pretty nasty with people using social media. I tried to find out if her husband has ever done anything like that. And it seems that he is a model player, that he is a good sportsman. He's very professional. But this is the issue. When you are married to someone, or even in a relationship with someone, you really need to be careful how you use social media. And the reason why I say that is now because everybody's on social media. But you have to be careful what you say, because what you may say may harm your spouse's or your partner's career, or your child's career, or your parents' career if they're an older person and you're an adult. So I'm very concerned about that once I read some of the tweets. Now, like I said, he didn't really come out and say anything once he signed with Tampa Bay. But like I said, when you're in a relationship, because social media is so prominent, you need to really be careful what you post and how you post it. And I think in relationship to this couple, Miko and Brett, she seems to be probably a little bit more outgoing. I'm saying a little bit. I'm trying to be diplomatic here. She seems to be very outgoing. There's some things you don't do. And he seems to be a gentleman and doesn't really want to say anything. I don't know if he says something to her behind closed doors. But one thing I was offended about once I did my research, but there was a tape of them interviewing both of them. And she came out and said how she has sex with him to help him get ready for a game. Now, we don't need to know that. That's too much information. Too much information. But I would say this to anybody in a relationship with someone. You need to be careful how you use social media. If you're going to post something that relates to your spouse's occupation, or if your spouse is someone who, works on a contract basis, anybody who has any say over the contract, you need to check with your spouse before you post anything. And if you have to think twice, or if your spouse says, well, maybe you ought to, don't post it. I don't think Miko understands some of the tweets I read, that she really created a hostile work environment for her husband. He never came out and said it, but just reading those tweets, she created a hostile work environment. And so my concern would be that she would continue to do that. I don't know her. I don't know if she has a job. I know that he just signed with Tampa Bay and he's going to get paid $16 million, $8 million a year. You know, that's a lot of money for someone to blow because of a tweet or because of a Facebook post or because of an Instagram picture or because of you getting arrested in the parking lot or you cussing somebody out on, you know. So what I would say to her, first of all, is that you need to respect your husband, because to me that shows really a lack of respect. A lack of respect for your husband and what he does as a professional, and a lack of respect for your relationship. Now, I'm quite sure people will get on me and say, well, you don't know the whole situation. No, I don't. But you got to have respect for your spouse. And this goes both ways, men and women. Because if it was her and he was doing things, you know, out of pocket, I would say the same thing. It's got to be mutual respect. The other thing is, in some of her tweets and some of the things I've read about her, she says that she is an analyst, that people have told her she would make a good analyst. Well, what I suggest to you, Miko, is help your husband save his money, and then you create your own YouTube channel, and you start doing sports commentary, and that way people will see if you really are a great analyst. Because from what I've seen, nobody would hire you. You certainly couldn't get hired on ESPN or Fox Sports, or, you know, you certainly couldn't get hired as an analyst right now, not with your behavior. I'm not saying you couldn't do it in the future, but you do need to tone down and you need to refine. Not saying that you shouldn't have a outgoing personality, but there's outgoing, and then there's nasty, and then there's disrespectful. And you really want to try to be respectful as possible. Brett, what I would say to him is, you have got to get some kind of control over this situation, because you're in a new city. If your wife does something that could cause you harm as far as your contract, what are you going to do then? I hope you're saving your money. I hope you're putting money aside. I hope you're investing, because I don't believe that she's going to just stop that behavior right away. The other thing I would suggest that you do, Miko, is take all that energy that you are taking and lashing out at people. Take that energy and go put it to use with some community organization. I can think of many organizations that you could go help that would be happy to have you and have your energy. Go help some women who were in abusive situations. Go help some kids who are coming out of foster care and need confidence building and need just daily living skills and needs some guidance on how to move forward and how to get themselves together so they can be independent. Do that. Go visit kids at a hospital on a cancer unit. Go help people who may be dying from cancer. And I'm just not talking about kids, I'm talking about adults. Go work with some HIV organizations. Take that energy and try to use it for the positive. But then one more thing. Where is her family and friends? Because I read some of those tweets. You can't tell me that people have read them, her friends or whatever, and thought to themselves, we need to pull her aside. Maybe she hasn't listened, but if nobody has done that, they need to do it so this man can at least have 2 years almost stress-free, because nothing's ever stress-free, but try to have less stress as possible, if I can say that, the least amount of stress possible. Because he's now on the downside of his career. And I don't mean like he's going down, but I mean his age. He's 32, I believe. he doesn't have much more time to play. So, Miko, you've got to be supportive of your husband. Because if you cause him to lose this contract, I don't know. He seems like he's very nice, but that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. And he just might want to divorce you. Or he may not be able to get work, and then you'll be hounding him because he can't get work. So be supportive and encourage your husband. Be supportive, be encouraging. Go out there and do something positive. He's got a great reputation. But because of your behavior, Miko, you have kind of tarnished his image because you two are a couple. Yes, we know he's on the field, but we know that wives, and it's just not with football. It's with any professional sport. Oftentimes when people are in certain positions in corporate America, in government, if your wife or your spouse or your, kids act out, it's a bad reflection on you. We know things happen, but you should try not to just do it on purpose. And some of those tweets I read were really, really nasty. And even if you wanted to say those things, there was a different way you could say it. So, all I would say to Brent is that, brother, are you in a tight spot? I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your marriage. I pray that Miko does something positive and not take her energy and use it on social media. Matter of fact, Miko, stay off social media for a while. Just go out and do some volunteer work. There's plenty of places that you could go and they would welcome you. They would welcome you. But the biggest thing is show respect to your husband. Just be respectful. And be respectful for his profession and what he's trying to do. And I'm tired of ranting now, and that's all I have to say. And I'd like to hear other people's thoughts. I'm quite sure that people are going to disagree with me. But I'd like to hear your thoughts, and we can have a discussion. All right? So have a great evening, everyone. God bless, and take care.